So good afternoon. Thanks for coming this afternoon. Today, I'm sharing the outcomes pertaining to a search warrant served on a residence in the Tallulah, North Shore area of Jacksonville. This operation was born of a citizen complaint of narcotics activity at the house located at 7118 Pearl Street. Based on this community tip, narcotics detectives began an investigation which culminated in a judge approving a search warrant for the house. On Saturday, June 17, 2023, a tactical team from the JSO Narcotics Unit executed the search warrant and arrested the following three individuals: Anthony Stevens Jr., Damon Worrell, and Terry Brownlee. When narcotics detectives searched the residence, they located a large number of firearms and a large and varied quantity of drugs. Detectives located and seized 34 firearms, 7 of which have been reported stolen. And as you can see in the photographs, these firearms run the gamut of styles and sizes. There are handguns, some of which were rendered fully automatic by illegal gun switches. Some of these handguns were outfitted with extended magazines and/or lasers. Many rifles were also recovered. Multiple shotguns were seized. Numerous firearms magazines were seized, including 2 drum-style magazines. And many different calibers of live ammunition were also located and seized. All these firearms are currently being forensically examined by the JSO firearms experts. We are awaiting notification from our firearm laboratory of any crime associations with these guns. When we have this information, we will gladly publicly release it. There was a large and varied quantity of narcotics seized from the house, including 30 ounces of MDMA or ecstasy, 8.5 ounces of powder cocaine, 54 grams of fentanyl, 14.4 grams of crack cocaine, a trafficking amount of oxycodone, a trafficking amount of hydrocodone, and a felony level quantity of marijuana. Upon searching the home, narcotics detectives immediately became aware that this residence was not only being used to store drugs, but also being used for narcotics manufacturing and distribution. Narcotics detectives located and seized several chemical beakers with drug residue, digital scales, small plastic baggies, vacuum sealers, pill bottles. In addition to the firearms, narcotics, and drug paraphernalia, investigators also seized $8,769 in cash, a bulletproof vest, and a metal safe. Anthony Stevens Jr., the primary target of this operation, is a convicted felon who is prohibited from possessing firearms. As a result of this operation, Stevens was arrested for multiple felonies, including possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Unfortunately, we can only charge him once, but he had 34 firearms in that house. Possession of a short-barreled gun, rifle or machine gun, because of the gun switches, which were rendered on several of the firearms fully automatic. 2 counts of trafficking in MDMA, trafficking in cocaine, trafficking in fentanyl, trafficking in oxycodone, and trafficking in hydrocodone, felony possession of marijuana with intent to deliver, and felony possession of paraphernalia for the manufacture or delivery of drugs, and most of all, I think, very significant child neglect. Stevens' arrest for child neglect stems from the fact that there was a minor child in the house when detectives executed the search warrant. Because the child has privacy rights, I will not be sharing any additional information about that child, but that child is safe. I've heard the argument that narcotics are only dangerous to those that use them and should not be a focus of law enforcement. This operation alone proves how that theory is false. Gun violence is woven into the fabric of the illegal narcotics trade. Where there are drugs, there are crime guns. The contents of this house alone reflect that reality. This agency will continue to locate and dismantle drug operations in Jacksonville. We do this not only to remove the poison that fuels addiction, but also to remove the accelerant which ignites gun violence in our community. I want to commend the dedicated detectives involved in this operation. Thank you. By establishing the necessary probable cause to secure a search warrant, these investigators have successfully taken 34 firearms that were being illegally possessed in a drug house off of our streets. We will never be able to quantify the violence that was prevented because of the seizure of these 34 crime guns, but it is unquestionable that gun violence has been prevented and precious lives have been saved. I want to also thank the engaged Jacksonville citizen who called the police and reported the drug activity on this house. That citizen's complaint spearheaded the outcomes that I'm sharing today. Communication between the public and the police is at the heart of community policing. We simply cannot do the important work we do in law enforcement without the involvement of the public that we serve. This operation is a testament to the power of the public and the police partnership, and we thank you. And at this time, I'll answer any questions that I can. Hey, Janice.
Good morning, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Janice Harris with Channel 4. With these 3 individuals that were arrested, is it possible that there may be more arrests coming?
At this time, right now, from what I know, this is it. But of course, these things never end. So we're going to continue to watch and make sure this doesn't spark back up again.
And with that, Sheriff, you mentioned that this house was used for distribution. Could these individuals or this house be part of a larger drug trafficking operation here in Jacksonville?
It could be. I mean, I wouldn't divulge that if it was. I would leave that as confidential, but I would say that they're going to continue to work. Like I just said, they're going to continue to work and follow the leads that come out. And if something else comes out and shows us that something else is stemming from that, then we'll follow up on it. And of course, gladly take it down.
And it's 34 guns, so do you know how long it may take to know if they're tied to any murders, any other crimes, or police reports of stolen?
Janice, to be honest, we'd like to get that done as quickly as possible. We do have our in-house firearms lab that they're working on that right now. I don't want to give you a time, but I promise you that, and I promise our city that we're going to let you know as soon as we find out what they're involved in. Yes, sir.
Just kind of double down on the citizen that called and gave you guys the tip on this. How important is it for you guys to, or for the public to reach out to you if they're seeing some activity in their neighborhood so you guys can, do your investigation?
So it's extremely important. We just unrolled an unsolved crime page on our website, and that is all for community engagement, community policing. I mean, this is the community having a part in helping us make connections to crimes that we actually address and we do something about. So to be able to continue to do that is of the utmost importance, and you can remain anonymous. You can use Crime Stoppers, you can use our page, you can call the office directly and let us know exactly what you see going on, because it's very important. We can't do it without our community. No question about it.
Thanks, Sheriff.
Thank you.